are listening to the Love Unplugged podcast, episode 1. Today's episode is all about my story and why I created this podcast. I am so excited to start this journey with you and to learn together how we can put some focus back onto taking care of ourselves and our relationships. You are listening to Love Unplugged, a podcast focused on love in all its forms. I'm your host, Jessica Frigon, hopeful romantic and founder of LOVE Unplugged. I've found that too often love is set aside or taken for granted, and we tend to forget how to care for ourselves and our relationships in the day-to-day chaos. So let's slow down, tune in, and begin our journey of rediscovering love. From honest heart-to-heart conversations with real couples and knowledgeable guests, to deep dive reviews of new products and services that will help you feel beautiful inside and out. If you're looking for relatable advice or wanting to be inspired by real-life love stories, you've come to the right place. Without further ado, let's get to it. Hello, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I am so excited as this is the first of what I hope to be many episodes. So first of all, my name is Jessica Frigon, and here's a little bit about my story. I grew up in Montreal, Quebec, but moved out to Vancouver with my mom and my brother when I was young. That being said, I did not grow up in a traditional home. I was, however, blessed to be surrounded by many inspiring couples who had amazing marriages, and it always fascinated me. Even though I did not have first-hand exposure to marriage and all that it entails, I did have many examples to learn from, for which I am very grateful. It's not a surprise that my fascination with marriage did not end there. I loved pretending to be a bride, pulling out the longest sheets from the linen closet, tying them around my neck or my waist, and walking down the halls of our house watching how the train trailed behind me. But my favorite part was walking down the flight of stairs with the long train. It was truly magical. Definitely a memory I will never forget. Fast forward 10 years or so, and out comes the wedding planner. I was always known as the planner amongst friends and colleagues. I organized everything, down to creating timelines for vacations that included a schedule for every minute of the day, for where we were going to be, what we were going to be doing. Yes, I even did this for a trip to Vegas, which, come on, Vegas should be spur of the moment kind of fun, and yes, I know that now. So combining that skill with my love for love was perfect. On my journey to wedding planning, I began. It was wonderful. I loved helping couples plan their special day, but I wanted more. I wanted to inspire couples to step away from the cookie-cutter style and create designs that were a true reflection of their unique love story. Ultimately, this is where Revue Blanc was created, out of a dream to inspire and help couples be true to themselves. It honestly took me 5+ years to get over my own roadblocks I had set, thinking, can I really do this? Would anyone even want to see what I was going to put out there? How would I go about doing it? But really, being a perfectionist at heart, everything had to line up perfectly in order to feel like it was time. I know you're probably shaking your head right now thinking this is nuts, but I know I am not the only one out there that has those kind of thoughts. A little over 2 years ago this month, which right now is April 2019, I was having yet another conversation with a close friend, and he said, just start. Who cares about the details? Just do it and everything will fall into place eventually. It doesn't need to be perfect. Everybody starts somewhere. This statement at this moment was exactly what I needed to hear. I knew all this already, but I needed to hear it when I was really ready to hear it, if that makes sense. So I started, and boy, was it not perfect. I told myself, just start, do it for fun, see how things go without putting any pressure on the outcome. Well, needless to say, it was the best decision I had made. I learned so much, listening to any podcast I could find for tips and advice from other successful entrepreneurs and reading any suggested book from Audible. But most importantly, I got to meet some really amazing people. Now, the not so fun part. I learned the hard way and was a bit blindsided by how much work was involved. Blogging ain't a joke. The amount of work to stay afloat is crazy. I seriously give major props to all the bloggers and entrepreneurs out there. Now, this is something I don't really share with many, including close family friends. But I already have 2 jobs. I work about 13 hours a day, 5 days a week to help my family. So you can imagine what happens when you add yet another set of tasks to an already busy schedule. Complete burnout. And out of this complete burnout came an idea to help others that have, are currently, or are about to experience the same thing. I know I am not the only one out there to push myself to the limit, to the point where I am too exhausted to eat the right foods I know my body needs, to exercise, to do simple things such as floss my darn teeth every day. And if you think that's bad, what do you think happened to my relationships? I stopped going out as much or barely at all, and when I had to, all I kept thinking about was the time and when I could leave, go home, crawl into bed, and be alone and rest. In addition to this, my self-esteem definitely took a hit. Being a blogger, you are required to spend time on social media. It's a must. I saw so many succeeding or launching projects I knew I wanted to do as well. But the part that really got to me is that they had the time to do the work. They had the time to succeed. I didn't. And I had no control over that. For someone who likes to plan everything, realizing that you have no control over such a big part of your life is pretty scary. I felt that because I was stretched so thin, I was not doing any particular task really great. Everything was being done subpar to the expectations I had set for myself. That is not something I was able to tolerate. Whether you are planning a wedding on top of your day-to-day job, working long hours in general, starting your dream side hustle in hopes of going full-time, raising a family, or in a rut, or even all of the above, I know we can relate that the first thing to go when you are short on time is taking care of ourselves and our relationships the way we know we should. I am sure all experience this in varying degrees based on our life circumstances, some more than others. So that is where Love Unplugged began. It might have started from a selfish desire, but has grown into a passion to share others' life experiences and industry experts' advice on how we can put the focus back onto ourselves and our important relationships, whether it is with a partner, family, or friends. We may not have control over our life circumstances all the time, but we can choose how we handle them. You will hear real-life love stories from couples, how they met, how they nurture their relationships, how they get through struggles together, and what tips they have for other couples going through similar circumstances. You will learn from real-world guests on how they balance all of life's demands while not losing sight of what is truly important and what tips they have for you to do so also. You will also hear about new products or services that will help you feel beautiful inside and out. And because I love weddings so much, you will hear about how you can plan a wedding that is true to you and as stress-free as possible. My ultimate hope is that you will learn something new and be able to apply something in your life, even if it is small, that will help you in whatever circumstance you are in. If there is ever a topic you would like covered on the show, or if you would like to be a guest and share your story, please reach out to me. After all, this is all for you, and I want to make sure you are getting the most out of Love Unplugged. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening in and being a part of this journey. I'm Jessica, and thanks for tuning in today to Love Unplugged, the podcast. If there are any questions or topics you'd love answered on the show, head on over to revueblanc.com and share your request with me. If you haven't yet, go to iTunes and subscribe, rate, and review this podcast and share it with a loved one. Your feedback means the world to me, and the community we've created is what fuels our discussions here. After all, this is all for you. Join me next time for another Unplugged conversation.